So,
Okay,
um,
okay.
so the
Then I'll
recording
ask
has
you a
started.
couple of questions at the end.
Oh, here we've got Lily. Hey, Lily, let me promote you over.
Hi.
Hey. Oh, and there's Tom and John. Hey, John and Tom, I'm moving you guys over to become panelists. You may have to click accept or something. There's Tom. Yep, and John's coming. There we go. Hey, John. Hey, Tom. Oh, you are muted.
How's everybody?
Good.
Okie doke.
Hey, Lily.
Hi, Lily.
We are arriving. Well, John's here too. Hey, John. Hadn't heard from Jan back. Jan's usually pretty good on attending stuff that's scheduled, but because we've got an intended hour, is that somebody else coming in, or no? That's Lily making a comment. Lily stepping out a minute. We've intended an hour. I want to get going here in just a minute. Was that a chat note from Lily?
Oh,
Danielle,
Jan is here. I'm going to promote her. Wow, we've got a full meeting. This is awesome.
Okay, cool. I'm trying to do this from my pad, which I'm not used to doing because the camera's not functioning on my pad. So it'll take me a minute sometimes to find anything in the chat. So Lily said she's finally getting to lunch. This is a busy young woman. Getting to lunch at 4 o'clock, right? So thank you for your commitment, Lily, to doing as much, all the things that you do. So thank you. I just want to offer, Lily and Jan were both part of this process previously, and Tom and John, you're kind of new to this process. I want to offer just a little bit of overview. I ended up becoming the chair kind of by default because there wasn't anybody. I'll admit, they said, we need somebody to do it last year. But I started getting really involved after the really hard, heavy lifting work had been done. Last year, folks with good assistance from Daniel put together a really good PowerPoint about the commission, a little bit of introduction to CAP 2.0, and city progress on meeting some of those goals, just so that people were aware that there is such a thing as a commission, what the commission as an advisory body does, and what's going on with the city. And Devin and I originally pitched it to the gathering of neighborhood association leaders, thinking that's the target community we had in mind. And we got very few takers. Last year, we ended up doing one at Jefferson West Side Neighbors. We've got a couple of tentatively scheduled for this spring, one in my neighborhood and Laurel Hill that we thought we were going to get February, and they bumped us to May. Southeast, I just talked to one of their board folks who's scheduling today, and we are on for April or May, depending on which of those two meetings they can get the mayor to come to. So for some reason, they'd rather talk to the mayor than hear our PowerPoint. I think it's good content, but there hasn't been a whole lot of interest in actually doing it in that setting. So one of the questions I want to explore today is, if we pitch it elsewhere, who else might we try to present to? The second thing that we did last year And it started as sort of a trial before there, really was a committee, and much developed was tabling. And we tabled last year at Jefferson West Side Neighbors, Far West Neighbors, let's see, Southeast Neighbors, Laurel Hill Valley Neighbors. And we weren't able to schedule, but they wanted us to in Bethel. So we had far more interest in folks having us come and table at their summer, ice cream, social potlucks, whatever different neighborhood associations had. And we shared information, and Jan did part of that, and Laura did some of that, and I did several of those. Informationally interesting, some really good conversations with folks. We shared a handout and did a little bit of networking. So those are the things we've done primarily till date. The other piece I just want to lift up is I certainly got the sense from people's report back on our work plan going to council. Council really wanted education and outreach to continue to happen. It was important to them, but we're still not quite sure what does that look like. Beyond what we did, something different than we did last year. Like I said, really good content, but it almost felt like, how about if you mount a really good show and nobody shows up in the audience? Jan, any thoughts from your end? And Lily, you were involved last year too.
No, I would say that's about right. I do think the PowerPoint's really good, and theoretically we thought it was a way to present some actual content and start a conversation. And it seemed like in the past, neighborhood associations, that would have been something they're interested in. And I haven't been going to them much, and I don't know what they're talking about it there. But again, I don't know if there's anything more we could do to try to generate interest that way. It was kind of set up for that, or if there should be some other community groups that might be interested or opportunities. The tabling was pretty good. I think we could do better on having more handout materials from other associated city programs, not, and something a little bit more interactive, something, game, whatever,
we had some very simple little dot exercises, survey stuff that we asked people's priorities. And Jan did a better job than we ever set up officially of trying to collect some anecdotal comments that came out of those conversations. So, and tabling, I found it a very pleasant thing to do. But I'm
there might be some other things we could do with that. I don't know. So I know, I don't know. Mitra has, in her regular life, is involved in organizing an Earth Day event.
Right.
And we could do some tabling there and do something there. We'd need to do some thinking about what, I think, again, we could come up with a better interactive piece.
Right.
And I don't know, Danielle, if there's a way to plug in with the various public information people throughout the city to find out what other outreach programs they may have going on this summer that we can tag on to. And, sometimes parks or somebody else is doing surveys out in the parks or community or whatever. There are things that we can tag along with. That would be another way to do some of that.
Right, and neighborhood associations have already said they want us back tabling in that setting. So go ahead.
And, a couple thoughts. One is I have the summary. This committee, with a little bit of my help, had put together a summary report of everything that occurred last year and what was heard from the public. I think that was really well received by council. So I'll email that to you guys in a couple minutes, once I can track it down. And then I think I'd be happy to share some events that are coming up. I think this summer, it could be good to like I remember last year Bethel, We Are Bethel
Yeah,
had
Bethel's
wanted.
already asked us for this
That would be
year.
a good one to
Uh,
do.
We just, none of us were available for Bethel last year.
Last year, yeah.
So I've already heard from Lynn Woodward and Bethel. So Bethel, I mean, even as we're trying to pin down the schedule for Laurel Hill and Southeast, they definitely want us back. Jefferson folks said, yeah, we look forward to seeing you next year, kinds of stuff. So the ones we've done, I think we can count on pretty much repeats because, and it's a flow through people. So we would still have for opportunities for different conversation.
Yeah.
So tabling is one of the things we've done. And I think it looks like we're going to continue to do because we're already getting invites. But the PowerPoint is kind of like, do we keep trying to find places? I did individuals and follow-ups with leadership folks that were listed for every neighborhood in town.
Did you? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Devin put together a list and I just did emails to each one of them and then later went back and I said, in case you missed my prior email. And that's how we got the, 2 or 3 that we got. And Laurel Hill, I bugged them because it's my neighborhood. And Southeast we got because it's Devin's neighborhood.
Right.
And
Well,
your
that would be,
neighborhood as well.
that would be another thing we could do, just one more stab anyway, is have commissioners, if they're in other neighborhoods, have them reach out to their own directly and see if that makes any difference.
And then what are the other content pieces or things we might share? John, you've been part of that conversation with the Climate Friendly Landscaping Group that's talked about kind of putting together suggestions for folks that they might want to do in their own yards. And you do lots of good pitches of how we could live a more sustainable life and, how from a commission framing we might do that. So, John, any thoughts from your end?
I guess my 2 questions are, if you have something really good, people will seek you out. And if you expect them to come before they know it's good, they may not show up. Is the PowerPoint available online as a narrated object?
We don't have a narrated version at this point.
Is it useful as a standalone piece?
Yeah, it's framed to, engage conversation. And maybe that's the next best next step is to see if we could just get there's a script, so it's pretty easy to get a narrated version.
We could at the very least just put the slides up.
Right, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
If they're there, they're there.
It's a PDF or something, that'd be easy to do.
Yeah, we could put the slides up that have the text. We've got a narrative text, and part of the thing that I'll just share with the whole group, which was intriguing and sometimes challenging for me, that it was very clear where they're representing the commission and to articulate positions of the commission and actions by the city, not, the points of view of Dennis Reynolds on what the city should be doing. We were there to highlight what the city in fact is doing.
Right.
So that's just something that, was made very clear and, about our role in that setting. And I think I think it was the Jefferson neighbors. I said, talk to me after the meeting if you want to talk to me, not as a commissioner, but I'm here in a particular role to report on what the city's doing.
Right.
So
going back to that question and suggestion about the PowerPoint, just posting it, I would suggest maybe sending it to Tom and John to look at, since they have never seen it. And it would be interesting to get a new perspective on it. To my way of thinking, it's been a while since I looked at it, but I think it would be, if we're going to post it online, I would post it just the slides myself. If we can do a narrated version, maybe do that. I think it would be a little awkward to post it so that the talking notes were visible. They're not really set up for that, you know what I mean? I think it would be a little awkward for people to see that. But it'd be interesting to see what somebody who's new to it, but informed would think of it, and suggestions that you might have on that. I think just posting the slideshow itself would be okay, but I still think opportunities to talk with people about it would be, better if we can make those happen.
I do a bunch of these and I have two versions. I have the version that I'm talking with the audience, and then I have the version that's on the web, which is in the corner, has
Yeah.
a little brief explainer for each slide that I think makes it more clear. But I would love to see the piece. That's one of my things here is
Yeah, that'd
that's
be great.
underlined. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested too.
So Danielle you said that's pretty straightforward to get it on the web and make sure they've got the links.
Yeah, it'd
Or
be
you
really
wanna just-
straightforward. It would be really straightforward just to post the slides. I mean, I could do that like this week.
Okay,
I just sent it to everyone, the
Oh,
PowerPoint
Thanks.
and the engagement summary from last year. So if you guys want to look at that now or on your own time as homework.
I'll probably do homework. I'm not that good of a multitasker.
Yeah, it's easy for me because I have two screens, but yeah,
Yes.
that's the homework.
right. No, I hear that. So where I hear we're at on the PowerPoint is, we're gonna come back to it and we're gonna continue to brainstorm ideas of where else we might do it. I mean, I pitched it to an interfaith, Earth Keepers group that I'm part of and saying, I'll bring it to your congregation if you think you can get more than 12 to 15 people in the room. And they all comment, I don't know. So,
Really?
that was the answer I got is, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Lily, is Lily still with us? Does she have any input? Lily, you there?
Yeah, I
mean-
like the idea of sending it out.
Yeah, do you have any thoughts on other people we might say, we have this presentation we'd like to share with you, can we?
What about like local businesses? Because one thing we were doing with my school is looking into surrounding businesses where students maybe don't compost or throw a lot of stuff out, where there's a lot of waste. I know that the presentation doesn't specifically touch on things related to local businesses, but maybe we could make an adaptation.
Interesting. Good idea.
I was going to mention the home shows have free space for people to do this type of stuff. And you get yourself a room and you may only have 12 people, but you may have 100 people depending
Well,
on.
that'd be worth a try.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They canceled the Good Earth home show this year for personal reasons of the promoter, but the other ones are that way. But the Good Earth one is supposed to be all environmentally sustainable, et cetera, et cetera. So
That
another spot.
would have been a good one, but so there's one coming up soon, but imagine we're too late for that, right?
You think you're too late for March? Yeah.
So the next one would be when?
I think in the fall.
In the fall. Cool. It's a good idea.
And then Lily probably knows better than I about Facebook and Twitter and all those things. I mean, I'm not as into it as I should be, but that's certainly a way that a lot of people, somebody has to do a TikTok video on it, right? Well, it's still legal.
right. So, I mean, that is, that whole question of, social media is outside of my wheelhouse as well. In the sense that I just know it's there as an alternative method of sharing information. Lily, do you think, trying to post a narrated version would be worth the effort in social media settings?
To be honest, I don't know that it would be like, I think people would watch it, like some amount of people would watch it, but I don't know if it would be worth the effort. I think it makes more sense to focus on efforts on more like direct, specific outreach.
I think it's I think it's a
Mm.
little too long for social media, for one thing. If we could come up with some cute little short video blurb that would be sort of the intro to it or something, we then probably still need to scale it back. I think it's a little
Right.
too long and detailed for that medium.
Or you
Right.
can, you get people interested who are, and then
right.
you guide them to it. It's just a way to get people to think
Yeah.
about it, perhaps. 'Cause
Right.
I don't think many people know what the Sustainability Commission does.
No,
sure
I know, that's
didn't.
part of,
Exactly.
when we've done the presentation in the limited settings and people like, oh, there is a commission, you know, and that's happened both with tabling and the few times we've done the presentation. So that was like goal one, you know, expand citizen awareness that we exist.
Yeah, I mean, I think that that sort of brings up the question I was wondering is like, you know, there's plenty of platforms we can think of, but I think really narrowing down what exactly is the message that you all, that this committee, that the commission wants to get out. Because then once we define that message, then we can pick the appropriate platform and, you know, mechanism to get it out. So I
Right,
think
and so far that message has been, there is a publicly appointed commission that's intended to be a citizen advisory body to advise on the goals of the city's action, and here's the city's actions.
Right.
That's
Here-
kind of what
there's-
we've said so far.
There's a place for people, there's a place where, like you say, volunteers represent and work on this topic. There's a place for people to come with their input about the city or questions about the city's work and sustainability. And here's the framework that where the city is working with, in that we have the climate recovery ordinance and the climate action plan, and we're working on these items. Basically, that's the summary of the yeah.
The message, yeah.
And then, and in terms of other, I mean, you know, Danielle, as we've been talking about this education and outreach effort for the last couple of years, like Dennis was saying, we've got really good feedback from council that they like it, and we were able to do a little work with other programs. So I don't know what you think council is hoping that we are going to be accomplishing with it, but that'd be something for us to be thinking about.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that a little more. I mean, you know, it makes me think like the presentations that the commission has been hearing about, like, you know, Golden Gardens, and tomorrow it'll be urban forestry, and
Right.
last month it was the IMERF. I mean, these are projects that are in development, and so I mean, not that it's necessarily the commission's job to do that engagement, because there are staff already sort of leading that engagement in a bigger, more coordinated way.
But for things like that, if there are, especially if there are
Yeah.
public information pieces that we can
Exactly. Yeah, 'cause you
distribute
can
and talk to
table
people.
that,
Yeah.
and you, at least
Yeah.
since you've heard the presentation, you know, kind of
Yeah.
more information, way more
Yeah.
information than the average person. So you could hand out a flyer and let people know. But going back to the original message that the Sustainability Commission exists, this is a place for citizens to give public comment, to share their ideas. I mean, I think that message alone could be amplified in a few other ways. I mean, it might be worth this committee putting together, like, maybe that message becomes a social media post and a Twitter post, but it's like adapted for that platform. So maybe the Facebook post is a picture of the commission with someone giving public comment and a brief explanation of, you know, that's sort of like Facebook appropriate. And then maybe you make a Twitter post, maybe there becomes like a little radio blurb, like that sort of becomes the toolkit that then city staff can push out through our different platforms. But this commission develops that content. That might be a good direction to go in.
Lily, you want to be a social media star?
I know speaking for myself, I need to see the video in order to make a good judgment as to what maybe we could do with it, because I haven't seen it yet.
Right, the PowerPoint is what we've got at this point
Yeah,
in terms
PowerPoint,
of our
sorry.
content package.
But I think that's a good idea, Danielle, one way or another, to figure out what could be a short social media post that is the very kind of basic core nugget.
Mhm.
And yeah, that would be helpful.
I really like that idea. I think it sounds effective. I mean, the city of Eugene has like, I don't know, probably a few thousand followers on like Instagram or Facebook. I think that
Well,
could
and it,
be each day.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
Oh, that's all I was gonna say.
Well, it could be even be something that's sort of like a template. So it's like this would be a Facebook post that and Twitter post. Those are our two accounts that we have that gets posted, a few days before the commission meeting. And so it would be like, hey, did you know the commission exists? Like this week they're talking about urban forestry and the new urban forestry management plan. Like if you want to come give public comment, if you have strong opinions about this or want to learn more, like tune into the meeting. You can log in at whatever time, 5:30, to give public comment. Like you could sort of do that targeted recruitment to get those voices to show up, like when it's time to show up.
I like
Um,
that. That's great.
Right, and it changes depending on
Right.
what you're focused on. It's not the
Yeah.
same message over and
Right.
over will become bland pretty quickly.
Right.
Right, and I like that notion that there's some way that people can know what's on the agenda.
Mhm.
And it may be, a little bit more than some of the advocate community, the Bethel folks and the Beyond Toxics people and the 350 people who show at our meeting periodically. Keep them and beyond kind of posted 2 to 3 weeks out as to what's coming. Is what I hear a template might do.
Yeah. When staff could take it, like if you guys create the basic, like I could enter in like whatever the topic's going to be for that month, like maybe there's like one sentence that I add in each month that just describes like the topic and like generally what it's going to be, but you guys would just design like the overall
Right.
post.
Well, and what I'm wondering, I think a nice feel would be if every month would be, for March, Lily says, hi, I'm Lily Ozo and I'm a member of the City Sustainability Commission. I represent you on the commission that advocates blah, blah, blah. And this month we're going to be talking about the meeting is at this point in time. If you want to share testimony, this is how you do it. If you just want to listen in, you can get the, log in this way. That's what I kind of think the commission would be. And it would be lifted up if it's a citizen commission, if a different member is doing it kind of each time we do it is an idea that comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
If we want to do that with video, Danielle, how would we be able to get that produced?
I think the steps would be, you guys would storyboard it out.
Right.
We do have a videographer on our graphics team who could probably help create,
Uh-huh.
if you guys have the bulk of the content, what you want it to be.
Okay,
She could help produce it.
great.
Aren't you legally required just to do it on your phone? I'm being silly, but it's quick and easy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the quickest would be, I'm selling.
yeah, I suppose.
That's true.
It might be a
And
little more.
I kind of like in an unusual kind of way the homegrown aspect of that.
Sure.
Just a thought.
No, I like it. It's certainly, you don't have to figure out scheduling and
Right.
all of that. You just have a deadline on when you're supposed to submit your little video clip. And that's kind of the scheduling issue. And then you do it when you deem best. And, you know, I mean, I envision if we want to get creative, last month's could have been standing out by our garbage cans.
Mhm.
And this
Mhm.
month, we're going to talk about how waste is treated.
Yeah.
And, you know, and Eugene's waste is treated in the new proposals coming from the county. And next time, you know, for, you know, Golden Gardens might have been, you do it at a, you know, field where people are playing soccer in the background. You know, there's some opportunities to get a little creative for background too, in terms of content that matches. I like the concept. We just got to figure out a template and a sort of standard form message, and then set a timeline.
I think we're pretty close. Danielle pretty much rattled it off. We just have to go back and write it. It's pretty close.
There's a lot of trees in Eugene you could use.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I mean, that's just part of the thing. I mean, for example, you know, if we wanted to share about the landscaping plans that are coming out of, you know, Climate Friendly Landscaping Committee, then it's in, hi, I'm here talking to you from my front yard.
No, this does, the only thing about sort of the homegrown video of someone videoing themselves is I don't know how you would get that through approval of the commission, you know, because anything that comes out of the commission requires approval of the full commission. So that might be a little tricky.
Well, maybe if we are just committed to a standard script,
Yeah.
with, you know, the only variation is going to be content of the upcoming meeting, and a very brief introduction that each of us would do. I'm coming to you from, you know, my own backyard, and I'm a member of the commission. Standard script. This month we're talking about. We want to invite you to join us, find out more about this topic and the work we do. You can get a link to the meeting at city website, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Danielle? It seems like if we ran that basic template past the group and with, yeah, it would be really clunky to try to have each one individually approved.
Yeah. Well, just a show of hands, who would be willing to produce a video of themselves? Okay. 2, 3.
I didn't see your hand, Lily. Okay,
Yeah,
just
there
checking.
you
Everyone's
go.
nominating
Hi.
Lily. You know, I don't think we can pull the excuse for much longer that only young people know technology. Facebook has
No.
been
I
around for
was
a
being
long
silly.
time.
It's just that, you know, she's
I know.
the cutest. No,
I'm just pushing back.
the most appealing face. Yeah.
Right. And half of this room is, you know, just more old white guys, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think this could work. I think maybe a good place to start then is yeah, like writing a little script, and maybe even aiming for like one that's a script for a video and one that would be like a sort of template script for a post, like a written
yeah.
post.
Absolutely.
To me, that seems like an easier thing to pull off.
Mhm.
Video sounds like it could be really awesome, but it's going to be a little bit trickier to pull off. So not discouraging it, but
Mhm.
I'm working on a post like template right now. That's what I've been doing.
cool.
Great.
Yeah, because I feel like if we just see what a post could look like, it could influence, you know, our discussion on how we want to get this out.
Right. And I think just written, it's completely useful for
Yeah.
Facebook. That's what many things are.
Yeah. And we have really high access to really high quality photos. Like I could easily, you know, pull an urban forestry, pull a, you know, iMurf, pull a whatever the topic is, like go into our photo registry or whatever repertoire and attach it with a nice photo.
So here's just a process thought. Lily, you said you've got, you know, you're putting together a draft. We've got a meeting tomorrow. If you feel comfortable on behalf of the committee saying this is a proposed, draft script, do we have support from the commission to prepare to do that for, next month?
Mhm.
So like a
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, to be clear, what we're doing is we're looking at, first of all, sharing, updates on what the committee is hearing about, to look for public comment, but also having like almost commissioner spotlights. Is that right?
Well, but just by the fact that if we rotate who's doing it, then we introduce ourselves.
I think just showing a different face and, yeah, that's,
Wait, what do you mean by how would that work? Like Dennis would post to his Facebook, or
No,
Is
I
it
was thinking more of the
Dennis
spotlight.
on
I would be the one, filming myself for
Oh, so that's the
April
video.
and, John's May, Lily's March, Jan's, June, whatever. We kind of rotate who's doing it this month.
A simple way to start out would be just strictly text
mhm.
on the Facebook page with the
Yeah.
hope that people would become interested in the schedule and the opportunity for input. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Mhm.
Here, I'm gonna add in the city's Facebook page.
Good.
Because then you could get a feel of like what some of the other posts are like.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
last
Great.
week, they did a post about the library that it's open even in cold weather. And then there was a post like city council voted to pass the fire fee. I think it would fit in very nicely to have urban forestry is
Mhm.
coming to the
Mhm.
commission next week, like with a photo. That I think that seems easier to maybe start with
Mhm.
than the video thing.
Yeah, yeah.
This is not wanting me to just go straight to it.
No, it's not. Let me go straight to it. And that's because I don't have an active account because mine got hacked a while ago.
I do, but I don't use it often, but it's
So-
just kind of, okay, now we got something. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're actually talking about a fair amount of text. So
I mean, yeah.
that's a.
Lily, what do you have so far?
Well, I have something simple, but I was thinking I mean, most of these social media platforms let you do more than one slide. Wait, let me share my screen actually.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh,
can
I have to let me make you a co-host.
Oh, I can though.
Okay.
So having can you guys see?
Yeah.
Yeah, so something really simple and eye-catching, maybe like
Mhm.
this.
Mhm.
And then you have another slide like here. So it would be you
Mhm.
swipe and then you
Right.
copy this over and there's like a bit more text, right?
Mhm.
So you can write like, in Eugene, we have, XYZ. If you're interested in learning more, visit the city's website. And then we have like City of Eugene or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Of Yeah, and then so we can have like, and then it would be pretty simple to edit this, right? So
Mhm.
everyone
Right.
have like a new commissioner's photo or maybe something in the background, like if we have this image,
Mhm.
whatever we want to make it look interesting and easy to read.
Right.
Mhm.
No, I
would
like
want,
it.
like, not necessarily the most professional post, but something I think that would be simple and easy to look at.
No, and I think it's eye-catching. The one content piece we'd want to make sure is you can link to the meeting at. And
Right.
if we can get a link there. Lily, sounds like you've got something to share with the commission tomorrow.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it looks
Wait,
great.
I'm a-
Looks perfect. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
a
it
little
does look
confused though
great.
still. So say we were talking about, because it's not the commissioner who's sharing the info, it's it's more like commissioners are providing feedback on the city's composting program. Like
It's almost
I'm confused
like,
what the spotlight is and what the
right. It is
topic
a little confusing. And then also I'm thinking, it's important to do the City of Eugene and Sustainability Commission, but it's almost like it would be more intriguing to start with. Are you interested in, local efforts on composting or whatever the topic is, as opposed to like a heavy, I don't know, Sustainability Commission headline?
Yeah, well, but I think the part that I'm a citizen, I, like you, am part of the city of Eugene.
Right.
I'm a member of the Citizen Advisory Committee as kind of a start point. I like the kind of
That's
thing
true.
with the commission.
I mean, someone said it earlier. I forget what the line was. It was like, I'm Dennis Reynolds. I'm the member of the Sustainability Commission, and I represent you.
Right.
That sounds
Right.
It pulls people in of like, oh, you're
Right,
doing
and I
a lot
hope
of
you'll
work.
join us and log into our meeting. That's kind of the core of the
Mhm.
message.
I guess yeah, I agree. I would almost like go with the face and this quote, and then the City of Eugene sustainability stuff kind of goes after that or something. Put the picture at the top of the page, but anyway, it's good.
So then I'm thinking maybe just to give it that personal aspect, for each meeting, we just have like a quick quote from a commissioner about the meeting topic.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And then we can have,
Trickier to do each month. Well, I don't know. It could work.
You kind of broke up there for me. What were you saying?
Well, I guess what would be the process for that then? So like each month a commissioner would get a quote to me, or what would be the process to get that?
Sure.
Yeah, a photo and a quote would get to you by a deadline, a
Right.
couple of weeks or whatever before each meeting, based on what's coming up.
Yeah, we could just sign people up ahead of time, through the whole calendar. So somebody's assigned and figure out what the deadline needs to be.
yeah, maybe maybe something like this. So you have join us for our next meeting, and then a quick agenda summary. Oh wait, the commission. A quick agenda summary here.
Mhm.
And then we aren't really limited to this, right? So we take the same template, and this one is maybe just about the commission in general. So then we like blow up this text and say stuff like, are you interested in local, environmental issues? And then we can say like, the City of Eugene Sustainability Commission is here to represent you.
Yeah. I like it.
So this can be maybe the first post that we make.
Mm-hmm.
And then people like recognize this template, and we'll have something come out every month.
Mhm.
I like it, and this could come out pretty soon, and then something else would come out, a couple of weeks before the next meeting.
Okay. Cool. I like this idea.
Yeah, I do too.
Pretty cool.
Well, in terms of I feel like before this our communications director is gonna have to like approve this. Would you like her to approve it before it goes to a vote? It may make sense to have sort of her review it before it goes back to the commission for a vote of approval.
Here's process-wise, though, we've got a meeting tomorrow.
I know.
I wonder if we could simply ask the committee for a provisional, sort of conditional approval of the concept.
Okay.
And that recognizing it needs to go through city communications staff to be, consistent with all the appropriate procedures, processes, stuff that happens with the fact that we're working with the city and we're not 350, or any other nonprofit advocacy group.
Oh, those groups always have bureaucracy too,
Oh, I know. But the smaller the group, the smaller
That's
the
right.
bureaucracy.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be good to just, I guess, we don't have it on the agenda, but under updates from commissioners or whatever, to just
Yeah,
give people a heads up that this is what we're working on, and
yeah, it would
if
be our
they're
update from the
comfort-
committee.
comfortable with the concept of it. Obviously, this can't be the final wording. It's gonna have to, get processed. So, and there might be some other ideas with, the communications people on formatting or graphics or whatever, so. But this is a great draft, I think.
Yeah, no, I think it's a terrific concept to keep,
yeah.
moving forward as
I
we're,
like it.
yeah, I like it a lot, and then we come back, in a month and we say, well, I mean, part of it, we'll see if we get more of a response. I mean, we may get more testimony, we may get more people show up, or we may just get, a few likes, so that we know people like us.
That's
They
In
like me, they really like me.
advertise on the second page, that's sort of going to be the repeat page, that the commission has the green fund, because that has not been
Yeah,
taken
yeah,
in
yeah,
very much.
yeah.
It would be maybe so on the second page you could put like
Do you have a local, whatever it would be, a local event,
project or something?
local project or event that you'd like some help with, that this commission has?
Offers small
Green fund.
grants up to
Yeah.
$1,000 for
Yeah.
local. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
We solicit from other commissioners ways this kind of posting could be used, so.
Lily, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
incredible.
Yeah.
You've got the facility to do this. Thank goodness you're here.
Yeah, of course.
So as a question, when I go to the City of Eugene Facebook page, I get the chance to do City of Eugene Transportation or City of Eugene Recreation. Which one am I?
For
what am I
what?
looking? I went to the Facebook page of the City of Eugene and I get City of Eugene Transportation as one place to follow, the police department to
Do you see
follow.
City
Well,
of
I might-
Eugene government?
Government, I need that instead of
Yeah.
just City of Eugene, but on this,
Yeah.
but on the link, it says City of Eugene.
Yep, it just says City of Eugene in
And
the
that-
link.
Okay, I'll keep playing. I don't do this very much, as I've mentioned.
That's okay. I think yeah, the city has a few different pages, but I think City of Eugene government would
Oh,
be
yes, yeah, okay.
would be the best
Yeah,
one
yeah, I
for
see it now. Yeah, yeah.
the commission to be
Okay.
on. And we could translate this to over to TikTok. Not TikTok. We don't have a TikTok channel. We have X, which
Yeah,
I know.
go to Blue Sky.
We can recommend to the council that the city make the Blue Sky as an act of local resistance. But
After we ask the committee members.
right, I know. We collectively, right, so
Yes.
anyway. Okay, it's not in our work plan, John, which you'll find out sometimes that comes up, but it's not in your work plan. No, no, I'm just really thrilled that, we've got some notions we're gonna share with Tom and John, the template of the PowerPoint that we did last year. Lily's put together a really good template that we will share with the commission tomorrow night. I'll keep working on pinning down schedules for those couple of presentations that are coming in the spring. We're gonna brainstorm more ideas for tabling beyond neighborhood associations.
But it would be,
And Danielle, you said you could get us some more info about some of the city events that we might also
Right.
be at.
it'd be good to get that, and then also what the city, what the neighborhood events are this summer, and just start getting those on the calendar and get people scheduled for them.
Yeah, that's part of the piece I said I'd pick up doing when you and Devin hit me up to do this last year. So for now, in terms of getting us set for summer, I'll share with you folks, I'm still wavering on seeking a reappointment. I sent Danielle some other folks,
I think
from-
it's too late.
Oh, okay, then we're still looking at underrepresented community. I'll commit to get stuff scheduled between now and the end of my term.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Well,
deadline-
so yeah, the deadline passed. So two quick things logistics wise. This committee needs to revote on a chair. That can be Dennis if he wants to be, or if someone else wants to be chair. So that vote needs to happen today, right now, just formality. And then the second thing is I'd like to just set this up as a recurring meeting. If we can just decide on a time, that
Yep.
just makes it a whole lot easier for getting the Zoom and the website and the emails all calendar all set. So could
That
we just,
recurring meeting part was something I wanted to get to next too, but
Yeah.
I'm willing to continue for the remainder of my term.
All in
if
favor?
that'd be great. But
okay,
we'll-
great.
And, primarily I see the main things I'm gonna do in terms of my takeaway is reach out again to the neighborhoods we did it with before and confirm them and once again pitch the other neighborhoods.
Okay.
So that's my to-do. And so what about scheduling? Is this time a good time for folks if we do? Well, let's try something further before the commission
Yeah.
meeting than the day before.
Yeah,
But Tuesday afternoons typically good for folks?
seems okay. Lily, yours has probably got the tightest schedule of everybody here.
Yeah, that works for me generally.
So a
Tuesday.
Tuesday at 4, tentatively the second
Second
Tuesday?
Tuesday. Okay. That's good. That gives you guys time to get something in the packet too.
Right.
For the future. So, okay. So the next meeting will be the 11th at March 11th at 4 p.m.
Uh-huh,
and it'll be recurring from there.
right.
And
That'd be
Lily,
April 8th, yeah.
Lily, can you send me, once you finish editing this, can you send it to me as a PDF just so I can have it on my computer if you want me to pull it up tomorrow?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, maybe just a last glimpse. What does everyone think of this? So something like this, maybe a photo of a commissioner and a quick quote for each meeting, a summary down here, and then, find out more at our website, whatever we want to say here. And then for a general post, we would have something like this. I'd probably clean this up a little bit and make it more, like, pop a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, the questions and answers and stuff, just a little more formatting and varying in the font and stuff, but maybe, I don't know if that's up to us or if that's up to the city graphics people to do, but
Well, we're asking for it tomorrow for proposal, for
yeah,
support
this
of,
is just,
support of the concept and that, we have to run it by communications. staff.
right. So in terms of the content regarding the for more information stuff, I think we probably want a line there that also says to listen or join the meeting and give a different, it's also at the website, but I don't know if there's a more specific link we can give or how we do that.
And to be able to comment, because I think people
Right.
might appreciate that too.
Yeah.
Maybe something just like visit our page at eugene.gov to join the meeting, submit public comment, or find out more.
Or for, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and that's some of the detail I think communication staff can
Right.
help us figure out how
They've
that
probably-
gets
They've
posted.
probably got language they use all the time for that.
Cool. We've got a concept, we've got a next meeting,
Got a
we're
chair.
gonna all take another look at the PowerPoint. I would ask people to begin to brainstorm other places we might take the PowerPoint as some next steps. And like I said, for my homework, I'll start reaching out to neighborhoods and getting some more of the summer calendar lined up. So.
I've got an email out to Mitra now to find out more about Earth Day.
Good.
Yeah, that's going to be coming up right around the corner. So
I know.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
good thing to put on the little Facebook piece that you're talking about
Right.
right there.
Yeah,
Or come and talk. Yeah, I mean, some of these things could be, you know, beyond this concept. Come and talk, we'll be tabling at.
right.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
not just the meeting, because the
Right.
meeting is only every couple of months, but it's also a way to say you're going to be tabling. And then
Mhm.
the last thing I might mention is if you see the little spin the wheel, people always like to spin a wheel
Mm,
and get a question or something like that.
Yep.
So I'll start seeing if I can come up with some questions and a wheel.
oh, that's a good idea.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it came up as a concept last year, but it never really happened.
We,
Thank you.
the city used to have a wheel that we used that for
Oh,
that. I don't know
yeah.
what's happened to that. That's been years ago now.
Probably still somewhere.
Yeah.
Now this, yeah,
Um,
it's in storage somewhere, right?
You know, and one final thing to put out there was I'm actually working with John. Our program is gonna start having a monthly spot on the radio, just like a
nice.
2-minute little radio spot. And we'll be talking about each month, we'll be talking about sort of a different thing, but it could be an opportunity for the commission if one of the months you want to take the 2-minute spot and sort of share about the
Oh.
commission and
Absolutely. Yeah.
what you know, how people can engage and the green fund, all this stuff. So that could be an assignment next time this committee meets, is to work on developing what that script would be for the radio.
What
Mhm.
about what stations?
Just KLCC,
Yeah,
just KLCC.
It is? Oh,
And you can do public service
well,
everywhere.
I was actually asking Danielle what, when they had.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's on KLCC. We haven't
Okay.
started yet. We're probably going to start in March.
I see.
yeah, tied in with the kind of stuff you've been doing, yeah, John?
Exactly. There's two Mondays of the month that I don't use that I've gotten permission from KLCC and
Ah.
encouragement to pass off to Danielle and Emily over at Bring.
Oh, nice, cool.
Yeah. And we're still finalizing things, but it's
Ah,
going to happen. So
Awesome.
Great.
Okay, well, I have to go pick up my kids, but this is awesome. I'm very excited about this committee this year.
This
Yeah.
was really fun. I had no idea
I
when
know,
we got
I
together,
know,
this
just-
was
Yeah.
happening today, but good.
Watching
stuff.
Lily work is always entertaining.
It's really fun.
I mean, the power of multitasking, so.
All right,
All
all
right.
right, thanks, y'all.
bye, kids.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you. All right,
Bye.
bye all.